The story of Marcus begins in a place far away from the stone walls of Rome. In the deep forests of the north, the world was green and the air was always cool. Marcus was a man of the earth. He spent his days tilling the soil and his evenings watching the sunset with his family. He had a small house, a few animals, and a life that was quiet and good. But peace is a fragile thing in the path of an empire. One afternoon, a cloud of dust appeared on the horizon. It was not a storm of rain, but a storm of iron. The Roman legions had arrived. They did not come to talk. They came to conquer. Marcus fought with a wood-cutting axe, but a farmer is no match for a trained soldier. He saw his world burn to the ground. He was hit with the blunt side of a sword, and when he woke up, he was in a cage on the back of a wagon. The journey to Rome took many weeks. Marcus was treated like an animal, fed only enough to stay alive. When he finally arrived in the city, the size of it terrified him. The buildings were taller than the oldest trees in his forest. The noise of thousands of people was like a constant scream. He was taken to a market where men were sold like cattle. A man with a scarred face and cold eyes looked at Marcus. This man was a lanista, an owner of gladiators. He saw the strength in Marcus's shoulders and the anger in his eyes. He paid a high price in silver and led Marcus away in chains. This was the end of Marcus the farmer, and the beginning of Marcus the prisoner of the Ludus. The Ludus was a massive square building with a courtyard in the middle. This courtyard was where men learned the art of killing. On his first day, Marcus was given a wooden sword. It was heavy and rough. The trainer told him that if he could not learn to use the wood, he would never feel the steel. Marcus was not alone. There were men from everywhere. Some were from the burning deserts of the south, others from the islands of the east. They were all brothers in pain. They lived in small, cold cells. They slept on straw mats. The only thing they had was the training. Every morning, before the sun was even visible, the whistle blew. The gladiators gathered in the dirt. They practiced their footwork for hours. They learned how to balance their weight and how to breathe during a fight. The trainers were cruel. If a man was slow, he was beaten. If a man complained, he was punished. But Marcus did not complain. He kept his eyes on the ground and his mind on his wooden sword. He realized that the only way to ever see his home again was to become the best. He had to become a master of death to win his life back. The food in the school was strange. Marcus expected meat to build his strength, but the Romans knew better. They fed the fighters a thick, heavy mash of barley and beans. Every meal was the same. It was tasteless and hard to swallow, but this diet served a purpose. It made the men heavy and gave them a layer of soft fat. This fat was a shield. In the arena, when a sword cut through the skin, the fat would bleed heavily but protect the muscles and organs underneath. It was all part of the show. The crowd wanted to see blood, and the barley mash ensured there was plenty of blood to see. After a year of training, it was time for Marcus to enter the arena for the first time. The Colosseum was a mountain of white stone. As he walked through the dark tunnels, he could hear the ground shaking. It was the sound of 80,000 people stomping their feet. The air was thick with the smell of sand, sweat, and animal musk. Marcus was given a heavy bronze helmet that covered his entire face. He could only see through 2 small holes. He felt like he was trapped in a metal box. When the gate opened, the light was so bright it hurt his eye. He stepped onto the sand and saw the blood from the previous match. It was a terrifying sight, but he remembered his training. He fought a man twice his size and won. That day, Marcus learned that he had a talent for survival. Years went by, and Marcus became a star. His name was carved into the walls of the city. Rich women wore jewelry with his image, Children played with clay dolls that looked like him. He had won 30 matches. He was a wealthy man now, but he was still a slave. He kept his money in a small hole under his floor. He was waiting for the day he could buy the Rudis, the wooden sword of freedom. He was tired of the killing. He was tired of the smell of the sand. He wanted to go back to the north, to find what was left of his family. He only needed one more big victory. The emperor announced a great festival that would last for 10 days. The final match of the festival was between Marcus and a new champion from the east. This new fighter was young, fast, and had never lost. The prize for the winner was not just gold, but the wooden sword of freedom. This was the moment Marcus had been waiting for. On the morning of the fight, Marcus did not eat. He sharpened his curved blade until it could cut a hair. He looked at his reflection in his shield. He saw an old man with tired eyes. He told himself that this would be the last time he ever put on the helmet. The stadium was packed. Even the aisles were full of people. When Marcus stepped onto the sand, the roar was so loud, it felt like a physical blow. He looked up at the emperor's box. The emperor was smiling. He knew that one of these men would not leave the arena alive. The trumpet sounded, and the fight began. The young champion was like a whirlwind. He moved with incredible speed, his sword flashing in the sun. Marcus stayed calm. He used his shield to catch the blows, and waited for his chance. He was playing a game of patience. For 20 minutes, the two men fought across the entire arena. The sand was kicked up in clouds. Marcus was bleeding from a cut on his arm, but he did not feel the pain. He saw his opening dot shape. The young fighter stepped too far to the right. Marcus lunged forward with all his strength. His sword reached the young man's chest. The crowd went silent. Marcus thought he had won. He could feel the wooden sword in his hand. He could see the green forests of his home. He felt a surge of joy in his heart. But in that moment of joy, Marcus forgot where he was. He lowered his shield for a split second to celebrate his victory. The young champion was not dead yet. With his last bit of energy, the young man swung his blade in a wide arc. Marcus felt a cold, sharp pain in his side. He looked down and saw the steel had gone deep. He stumbled back, dotted. His legs felt heavy, like they were made of lead. He fell to his knees. The young champion fell too, and for a moment, both men lay in the dust, gasping for air. The young champion stood up first, using his sword as a cane. He walked over to Marcus. The stadium was deathly quiet. All eyes were on the emperor. Marcus looked up at the sky. He saw a hawk flying high above the Colosseum. He thought of his wife's golden hair and the smell of the rain. He was not angry. He was just tired. The emperor looked down at the sand and slowly turned his thumb toward the earth. Death, death. The young fighter raised his sword. Marcus did not move. He did not cry out. He accepted the end with the dignity of a man who had fought well. As the steel touched his skin, Marcus did not feel the cold. He felt the warmth of the northern sun. He felt the soft grass of his farm. He was finally leaving the stone walls of Rome behind. He was finally going home. The sand of the arena drank his blood, and the name of Marcus was shouted one last time before fading into the history of the empire. The story of the gladiator was over, and the farmer was at peace. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. But if you didn't like it, feel free to hit that dislike button. Just make sure to leave a comment and tell me why so I can improve. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.